The real question is, can we make 2026 a better year than 2025? Welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Dual.athlete, and let's have a chat about what we're implementing this year. I train in regards of the CrossFit functional fitness, and my goal for the end of the year is to be at a relatively good standing when it comes to RX. CrossFit comes in 3 different strategies. Number 1 is RX, which means as written or as prescribed. I still don't understand why they use those letters. And after that, there is scaled. Part of scaled is weights are typically lighter, the skills are typically less demanding or less technical. And then you have foundation, which is very much the baseline. Key point, none of these are bad. These are suitable for each person in a different way they train. CrossFit is a sport that is intended for everybody. So if we didn't have these levels, then a lot of people would be out. But because of my younger nature, I've only just turned 20, and the fact that I train a lot, I'm a personal trainer, I would like to be, in 12 months' time, at that RX level. The real question is, how do we achieve that? Now, we're going to start from the least important to probably the most important in the factors that will get me along this journey and what is indeed RX level. So, to start off with, books and knowledge. Now, I find these are important because if you don't understand something, how can you really expect to perform it? So for me, I went out over the last year and I've bought and accumulated a lot of books by professionals who've been there and done CrossFit at high standing. Starting off with my most current read, Sam Briggs. Now, she started much later, much older athlete, and well, despite having a background in firefighting, duathlons, all sorts, I think it's really important to hear people's personal stories and see what differentiates them to me, and perhaps learn a little bit. I think learning from others is a great way to progress in the future. In terms of personal stories, we have a couple of different options. We have The Heart is the Strongest Muscle by Tia Toomey. Now, I believe she's won, I think, 8 times now. This book was written when she was 6-time CrossFit Games champion. I also have her other book, which is here, which is How I Became the Fittest Woman. This one, I think, is slightly later, 2017. So it kind of explains their journey and how they did it from their perspective. There are also different types of knowledge in books that I've been looking into. One being Hard Work Pays Off by Matt Fraser. Now, he was originally a weightlifter, broke his back, 5-time CrossFit Games athlete. This book is much more of kind of advice more than anything. So, like, there's swimming advice in there, if I'm using remember that one. Yeah, there's swimming advice in there. There's weightlifting techniques. There's all sorts in this. It's more of a guide. So if I see something I don't typically do, I might have a look in this and see what his advice and tips are regarding on the workout. In terms of Alex, we've also got Cracking the CrossFit Open. This one's a little bit of an older book. I think it's like 2020 this one came out, like COVID time. 2018, yeah, so just prior to COVID this one came out. It's just analysing what the likelihood of different things are and what the weights are more likely to be for the CrossFit Open, which, if you don't know, is coming up in a couple of months, 6 weeks out I believe from today. So that is a May performance thing. That's how you know really where you are. Not all books have to be CrossFit related. You don't have to read just specific. A bit more of a broader sense is I have books like David Goggins, Atomic Habits, which I have here. That's Atomic Habits. Become the 0.1% by the Royal Marines. So that is just learning different mindsets. I think people neglect their mental health way too much when it comes to sport. Moving on to the second part of this video, I'd like to talk over diet and training. So, in terms of diet, for me personally, I have ballparks I aim for. I think it's too stressful right now to try and be perfect on everything, and it's just another thing I've got to do in my day. It's another problem that we've got to worry about. I'm currently looking at trying to get about 120 to 140 grams of protein, about 150 to 200 grams of carbs, because it's a lot of training, and then the rest is like 30-40 grams of fat in my diet, and that's coming from lean meats, particularly mince and chicken, because it's just easier to cook. So frozen vegetables, which is helpful just to get those nutrients in. Lots of bananas, which has good potassium, good carbs in it. It's good for pre-runs. Rates are mostly coming from like microwavable rice and pasta. Not perfection, but it is helpful in the long run. I'm just aiming to fuel, not aiming to cut or bulk at the moment because we're too close to competition seasons. So in terms of that, it's much more consistency, making sure I'm drinking more water, having a look at things. So I generally track, but not excessively. Some days I will, some days I won't. If there's a lot going on, I won't track it. In terms of my training style, it's not really necessary, especially if you're eating the same meals pretty much day in, day out. Why do you need to track it? So it's just consistency between what I'm having over the day and how I feel. Like if I don't eat like 4 hours before training, I can feel the difference in my training. In terms of training, we've had some changes in the last few months. So I'm still at the current CrossFit gym and I love it there. They are fantastic. So I've kind of got a little schedule of when I go, and that can change if I need it to. But at the moment it works well for me. So I can do a lot of work in the mornings and go in the evenings. Currently trying to do 2 Olympic weightlifting classes per week on a Thursday and a Saturday. Reason being is under coach's direction basically. If something is going horribly wrong, I'll get called out there. Olympic weightlifting, whilst it's mostly technical in my opinion, learning efficiency, which is a massive part of CrossFit. Go to CrossFit classes about 2 times a week. So that will typically be on a Monday and a Thursday. Reason being is you can do all the training you want, but CrossFit is about the community in my opinion. Like it really has become about the people I see each and every day, and I love those people and I love spending time with them. And it's nice to do something different, something that's not planned, no stress to it. So another change in which happened is I now have my programming done for me. So originally I did the programming, so I now have that program 3 times a week for me, and it's fantastic. I've seen massive improvement, and also technical. So just like Olympic weightlifting, if something's not right, I get told and then it gets better. And the improvement I've seen over the last like 2-3 months is massive. It's brilliant, I love it. That's a major change. So over the course of about a week, I'm now training between 8 and 12 hours a week. Nothing extreme because I don't get paid to train, so I don't have the resources and time to do it, nor the energy. So I'm not quite fit enough where those extra hours would just become junk volume. In terms of getting towards that RX goal, we're definitely focusing a lot more on skills like double unders and muscle ups. Those are kind of the thing that separates people. It's not the easiest. My double unders are terrible, and I did 1 bar muscle up and didn't get a video. So we're currently working on the hip extension. So you folks have currently got an idea as to where we're at, and where we're proceeding from here is we've got a comp in 2 weeks. That is going to be recorded up here. My partner for the workout has agreed that we'll do some pre-interviews, and so it's going to be much more documentary style video, relatively local. We're going to travel an hour out on a Saturday, go and complete like 3 or 4 workouts depending on when they release that. They haven't actually done that yet. We know there's a max bench press, surprising for CrossFit, right? So pretty exciting. That is an RX open level comp, so my partner's much fitter than I am. It's going to be interesting. So it's pairs. That will be looking into the open, some extra little bits. The open starts in February, end of February, so we're about 6 weeks out from that. After that, God knows what's going to happen in terms of training. Probably focus more on strength. We'll see what happens. So I've got lots of good things in store at the moment, folks. Feel free to check out the other videos, feel free to leave thoughts down below. But I will catch you in the next one.